Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and interesting news today. We have something that's called with the Liz Cheney and her essentially losing, among others, a few things that she's kind of been doing in the back order here. But it's a good thing because one of the rhinos have lost, and thank God for that. And what we would also call a sludgy, evil communist Democrat. And yeah, there's not really much else to really say. So let's get directly into the article and see what exactly happened and what she plans to do. Breaking: Liz Cheney loses Wyoming primary to Trump-endorsed Harriet Hageman. The primary was being closely watched as Cheney has been one of the Republican Party's most outspoken opponents of former President Donald Trump. Yeah, because she is what you would call a rhino and a terrible human being. Trump strongly endorsed Hageman and stumped for her at rallies in the state. Speaking to the press outside of a polling location earlier in the day, Cheney claimed that no matter which way the race went, it was the beginning of a battle. No matter what the outcome, it is certainly the beginning of a battle that is going to continue and is going to go on. And as a country, we're facing very challenging and difficult times. We are facing a moment where our democracy rally is under attack and under threat, Cheney told CBS on the election day. Yeah, by people like you, and honestly nobody else. Well, everybody that's on your side, because the only people that's really attacking our democracy or attacking our country at all are people like you that are going to destroy it and put in the IRS and stuff like that. That is part of the reason, and I'm not really all for that. If I'm going to be perfectly honest here, I'm immensely against it. So yeah, you're part of the problem. Thanks for projecting. Let's watch a little bit of what's going on, or what she says here. Yeah, except you're not really a Republican, and you are what we call a rhino, aka Democrat, and you're a terrible human being. So that's where we have it there. If there is no freedom under your guys' rule, you guys only want control and power, and that's really all you care for. And I'm sorry to say, but or not really sorry to say, but get booted. And those of us, those of us across the board, blah 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 blah. The Wyoming Republican Party voted to formally censure Cheney in February 2021 over her vote to impeach the former president. Roughly 9 months later, the state party voted to no longer recognize her as a Republican at all, which is not really a surprise because she's not really a Republican. She has the R under her name, but it's not really Republican. The same thing the Democrats will probably say. Some of the Democrats have a D under their name, but they're really Republican, which they're trying to put into our, Republican area. So she's going to have to expose these frauds and then get out of here. Democratic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi later made Cheney the vice chair of the House committee investigating January 6th. Oh, I wonder why she did that. Throughout her political career, Cheney has championed similar to hawkish neoconservative policy positions as her father, former Vice President Dick Cheney, including championing the Iraq War and pushing for regime change in Iran. Yeah, how about we just stay out of Iran and out of any of those places and just, let us mind their own business. Let them do what they want, and let us just stay the fuck out. So, yeah, you're not really winning anything on that front. Cheney has also been outspoken about her support for torture, consistently defending the use of waterboarding as an execution method for over a decade and a half. Oh, I know, because she's just like her father, a horrible, terrible human being, who is, however, surprised about that. Now, we could probably go over here and kind of see exactly what they're talking about. This past week, the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol shifted into a higher gear. Notice how it's locked behind a paywall because it wants you to try it for free. Guess what? You're not getting my money, Paramount Plus, and I'm definitely not going to watch any of your garbage. But we will read this instead. On Thursday, it's a subpoena for four of former President Donald Trump's top advisors, including his chief of staff, for documents and positions of the former president's actions on the day of the siege and days leading up to it. At the center of the Select Committee's probe is Wyoming Representative Liz Cheney. Like a lone ranger riding out of the West, she is one of the few Republicans willing to, daring to, and stand up to Mr. Trump and House Republican leaders who opposed her joining the committee. This is from CBS News, guys, so I take everything with a grain of fucking salt. When we spoke to the Congresswoman Cheney at the Capitol on Wednesday, we asked about a call she got from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Liz Cheney, she called me and asked me to be a member of the committee, and I accepted, and Leslie Stahl, right away. Liz Cheney, right away. No hesitation. None, because it's so important, and then because I also know that my participant in the committee makes that committee bipartisan, no one will question my conservative credentials. But most Republicans in the House see what you were doing as a betrayal. They look at Nancy Pelosi. Even you said this. I've got a quote here. You said the Democrats under Nancy Pelosi's leadership have become the party of anti-Semitism, infanticide, and socialism. Direct quote from you, and yet here you are. It's considered Nancy Pelosi's committee. Yeah, exactly. So she's just completely destroying herself, which is absolutely hilarious. We all think we all know that what she really is in reality, and that's just why I called her a terrible human being, because that's what she is. I think that millions of people around the country have been betrayed and misled and deceived by Donald Trump. No, they really haven't. They're just more intelligent than you, and don't believe your guys' lies anymore. He has said that the election was stolen. He continues to say that. He continues to say things that aren't true and continues to raise money off of those claims. So to me, there's not a question. She's one of the only two Republicans on the nine-member committee and a prominent face of it since she was elevated to vice chair. We must also know what happened every minute of that day in the White House. Republicans in Congress feel that by joining this January 6th panel, you're helping to keep the focus on Trump instead of the shortcomings of the Biden administration. Yeah, which is true. Those who think that by ignoring Trump, he will go away, but have been proven wrong. And in my view, the American people, they deserve better than having to choose between what I think are really disastrous policies of Joe Biden. In a whole range of areas, really bad for our economy, from a national security perspective, what's happened, what he's done in Afghanistan, very dangerous policies for the country. But the alternative cannot be a man who doesn't believe in the rule of law and who violated his oath of office. But which he didn't. Because we all know that Joe Biden and everything that he's done has been terrible for the country. And we all know that none of this happened under the rule of Trump. So you saying this is just stupid. You're saying that he did all these bad things, but here you say also that Biden did these things, and we all know on how bad everything is. It was way worse under Biden, and it wasn't nearly as bad under Trump. This has been proven. So I don't know what you're getting at here. Donald Trump at the rally, let's change the world. We got to get rid of them. He singled her out as his rally on January 6th, and later she's warmongering fool and a horrible human being. He's made defeating her next year in her re-election in Wyoming one of his top priorities. She's risking her political career. Most Republicans we've spoken to feel that you miscalculated, that you didn't figure out ahead of time, and that it was going to be this intense, this hot, this perpetual. It wasn't a calculation. You said it didn't weigh a measure. No, there wasn't a yellow pad with those pros and the cons, and no, this was what he has done. I watched while the attack was underway, understood very clearly what he did on January 6th. He didn't do anything on January 6th, and he actually told people not to attack. So we all know this is completely untrue. However, what we want to do here is find exactly what she said here under this type of article. So what we would do here is type in torture. So it goes on to say, you have been in a way adherent to the liberals, which is kind of funny because, as you would say yourself, you're one of the most conservative members of the House. You're anti-abortion. I'm pro-life, yes. You're pro-life, yes. You're pro-guns rights, and you voted to appeal Obamacare. Do you regret that vote? I do not know. Waterboarding, aka torture. Well, it's not torture, but you support waterboarding. I do, absolutely. See? This is what we're talking about here, guys. Is that, and there's no there's here long-held opposition to same-sex marriage, which prompted a bitter falling out with her sister Mary. So, due to this, all this type of stuff, we're seeing exactly on how terrible Liz Cheney is. She's been spoken about this and all this other great stuff. But she's also made a great, hilarious comment, which we'll get into right now. Cheney says she's considering running for president after losing her congressional seat by a landslide. Yeah, you're really going to get the presidential seat after losing. Yeah, you really, really are. That's laughable. Laughable. You're not beating anyone. You're definitely not beating DeSantis. Good fucking luck. Prior to the defeat, Cheney was one of the few remaining non-conservatives who held office. On Wednesday, with over 90% of the vote counted, Cheney was losing the primary for her seat by approximately 38 points. The race was called for her challenge. Trump endorsed conservative lawyer Harriet Hageman roughly an hour and a half after polls closed. Appearing on NBC's Today Show on Wednesday's morning, Cheney announced that she was launching a new organization aimed at keeping former President Trump out of office. We had to keep this party back to the principles and values on which it was founded. Which, you don't have that because you're a Democrat in disguise. Stop saying that. You're a terrible human being. From former Vice President Dick Cheney's daughter boasted that in the previous elections she received more than 70% of the vote and that the path to that same victory would have been very easy, but claimed that she wanted to focus more on her opposition to Trump than winning. There's no political office that's more important than the principles that we take an oath on to defend, Cheney said. I think that defeating him is going to require a broad and united front of Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and that's what I intend to be a part of. When asked by Savannah Guthrie if she lost sight of issues that mattered to her constituents in Wyoming, Cheney claimed that as a nation, you don't get the opportunity to debate and discuss any other issue when you're facing a fundamental threat on a republic. I do whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, she said. Well, let's see what she actually really says. The people of Wyoming hate you. They hate you. They don't like you. They're not going to support you at all. Get that through your thick, stupid skull. Yeah, well, this is the thing with these people. They never can give a very clear yes or no answer. That's the thing. They never say yes or no. Just say yes or no. It's not that hard. And when people ask me like, "Oh, are you for abortion?" I'll say, "Hell no." It is not hard to say no. You don't have to give a concluded or wrong answer. Just say no or yes or no. Say yes or no. It's not that hard. But of course, these people have the fear of these yes or no questions, so they have to backpedal and try to middle words with it. Cheney, like her father, holds extremely hawkwash foreign policy views. In 2006, while working for the State Department and chairing the Iran-Syria policy and operations group, she's shown an advocate for a regime changed with war with Iran. So, you all know that she did with all this. So, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we all know who you are, Liz Cheney. You're a terrible, evil human being. We know who you are, and we don't like you. The people of Wyoming don't like you. So it's time to get used to that hate from other people. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.